Hello, hello, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, I am feeling just okay. I could be a lot better on this Wellness Wednesday, but that's okay. We're going to manage. We are going to manage. So, yeah, I mute myself. So, you guys have to remind me because I mute myself, before I go live just because before I've heard some shuffling and things in the back. So I wanted to kind of mute that out. So anyway, thank you for texting me and let me know. Let me know if it's gone. The sound is gone. All right, so welcome, welcome. So we have Delilah, I see in the chat. We have Taisha in the chat. We have Mia. We have Mel. I think I saw the Turtle Diaries. Yes, there you are in the chat. All right, so we're going to be talking about all things finance today. And we talked about it a little bit last week. So this is like kind of like the closing of it for a little while. We're going to talk tonight. It's called Show Me the Money. So if you're not already doing something with the extra money that you have, I'm going to talk about what you could possibly do with it to make your money grow. And as I was sitting here putting this together, I thought this might be a little too fancy smancy, some of these terms and things like that. And so I'm going to try to break it down the best way I can for you guys. So if you guys don't know, I think I've said this before. If you don't remember, I have an investment book club that I kind of started some years ago. And we had got so into reading of the books. Sometimes people weren't reading the books though. That's what annoyed me about that group. And sometimes we weren't reading the books, but we had discussion questions and things like that. The reading was kind of difficult. So I will say, I agree with that. But one of the things we did, I'm trying to send them this link so they could come and just, listen in. But one of the things that we were going to do was start pooling our money together to buy like a shopping mall, or we talked about an Airbnb and just all kind of property. And it just never, we kind of fizzled out because we were trying to figure out whose names we were going to put it in, what we were going to do, just all kind of things going on with that. So we kind of disbanded the group. But as far as actually going through and buying something with our money, and then we just stopped kind of meet. So, if we, have a stock, something going on with the stock, or, some news happened that might affect the stocks that we invested in, we text each other and, we chat. So, so hopefully they could come tonight. They're not going to say anything probably. But, hopefully, if they wanted to chime in, which I doubt they will. So tonight, I just want to review really quick. Let's talk about now, this StreamYard is not agreeing with my background. So, and I'm okay with that. So I kind of let the background go. It takes up so much space. Like if I create a video through StreamYard and download it, it takes up so much of my memory. So I, kind of put a kibosh to that. And then I wasn't even going to use slides. But honestly, slides are the best way I could kind of show what I want to talk about. So this is what we're doing tonight. This is the agenda. This is called Show Me the Money. It says review. We're going to review the budget rule, how you should, even generate some money to be able to do something with it. We're going to talk about how to grow your money. And we're going to play a game called the budget game. If anybody wants to play, it's about all things budget. And my question of the night is, are you tracking your money like you are tracking your meals? And some of you are tracking your meals. If you're not tracking your meals, you're tracking your protein. And I know a lot of you weigh in every day, so you're definitely tracking your weight. And so I want us to be tracking our money kind of the same way. People are tracking their steps. They're tracking all kind of things, but we really should be trying to track our finances as well. So let's just get started with a quick little review of what we talked about last time, dividing the budget. So this is a question for the group. Does anybody have a budget where they follow this rule, 50, 30, 20? Are you following the 50, 30, 20 rule in the chat? I'm going to put that. Are you following the 50, 30, 20 rule? So for people out there, watching in YouTube land, the 50% is like where most of your money should come from. Your fixed expenses. Fixed means things that don't really fluctuate from, month to month. So your rent, your mortgage, your bills, your groceries fluctuate though, but that's considered a need. So we're still going to put it in that category. Things that you want, dining out, entertainment, subscriptions. And if you were watching last week, I told you guys about how I saved money going through and putting things in a plan, a budget, and I saved money on some subscriptions, like 3 subscriptions I canceled that I was paying money for, not even using. And I canceled another one today. I canceled another one today. So I'm going to be saving myself probably this month alone. I'm saving myself close to $300 on subscriptions that I'm not even using. So I'm excited about that. And then of course, the savings, 20% savings. So 20% can either be savings or investments. You need an emergency fund. They say you should have 6 months of money saved up so that if there was a catastrophe, something that happened, you could, pay for it, like your refrigerator going out. And that is so true because my refrigerator went out. I told this story. It went out in April. I didn't get a new one until June because I was waiting around for the insurance company. And the insurance company never came through, and I just finally paid for it out of pocket myself because I was so annoyed. So they really just got, a whole lump sum of money out of me because they didn't provide a service. And I got so frustrated, I kind of went somewhere else and bought a new insurance policy. That didn't kick in for 30 days. And I couldn't wait another 30 more days. I almost went 2 months without a refrigerator. So yeah, I couldn't keep doing that. So anyway, I know all too well having that extra money is super, super helpful. So let me see. I just one more person I was trying to send a message to. One of my other friends. She's very oh, there it goes. It blacks me out again. That's so crazy. Jeez Louise. Uh, okay, we'll figure it out. Okay, here I come. Here I come. Oh, StreamYard. I'm so annoyed with StreamYard. Okay, so I don't know what happened. StreamYard is not my friend again. All right. So what are we going to do? We're going to monitor and adjust our budget, monitor your budget monthly, adjust as you need. We talked about the apps YNAB, which I started to use. I love that. We talked about Every Dollar. That's an app that Dave Ramsey recommends. I don't know anything about the Every Dollar, but you should try it out. If it's free, it can't hurt to just try it out. And then what else? Let me see. It was another app that I talked about last week that just was not worth even putting on the screen because it doesn't work like I thought it did. So there we go. So the Dave Ramsey plan, that's the plan that I kind of advocated for because that's what helped me get out of debt. And this is his book. It's called The Dave Ramsey Total Makeover. And a lot of people aren't a Dave Ramsey fan. Dave Ramsey, he's been known to be controversial. I don't really care about his politics or anything like that, or how harsh he could be sometimes. Like when I used his program to get out of debt, I needed harsh, I needed quick, I needed something that was tried and true that worked, and that worked for me. So everything else that's going on with him, I don't know. I just know that his system worked for me to get me out of debt. And so this was years and years ago. So in his budget, he talks about, I love this. Every dollar of your income has a job. You give your income a job so that your income minus expenses are equal to zero. And so that's why it's called zero-based budget. You're not in debt at all. you list your income sources. We talked again about all your expenses being variable, fixed, your savings. And he also talks about giving, which is another thing I loved about his plan. He talks about giving. And, if you guys didn't remember from last week, my charity of choice I give to is the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So I am a faithful giver to that charity. And you can use some tools like the Everyday Dollar app for tracking your budget. And then we, of course, here I'm advocating also the YNAB. But if you have a financial advisor, somebody that knows how to make money and not just spend money, I would ask them if they have an app that they're using too that could be helpful. The book is called The Total Money Makeover, and I held it up in the on my screen there. And I would check that book out. If you want more step-by-step on how to do it, worksheets, all that kind of thing, I would check the book out and go from there. So, and of course, I, just kind of talked about this, having no debt. Dave Ramsey advocates for, and I do too. I'm trying to get there. Having an emergency fund, prioritize your savings for emergencies. He talks about an envelope system. Nowadays we're calling it the debit card, basically. But he talked about putting cash in an envelope, just like you would any kind of expenditure. And once that's gone, you don't use it anymore. Like once that money is run out, then that's it for you for spending for the month until your next allotment. So I think that's great. That's one of the things that helped get me out of debt. If I wasn't using cash, I was using my debit card, which is cash. It's connected to your bank account. The number one thing you should do, which I have such a hard time doing this, is living below your means. Reduce unnecessary expenses and focus on needs over wants. I'm a needs and wants. I'm not just a I'm not just a needs girl. So I'm trying to become a needs girl and stick with that. And then the last one was, of course, giving. We talked about that. And if you tithe at your church, that's kind of it could fall into that category as well. And so let's talk about saving our money, because you might be thinking this was called, if you're in debt and can't afford your GLP medications, watch this. Well, this is how you're going to be able to do that. Any little money that you have to create that budget first, because people are so quick to say, I don't have it, without really knowing what they have. Now, some of you may have already been at that step where you know what you don't have. If you already know what you don't have, that's fine. But some of us do have some extra little money that we can take, and you might be asking where to put it. And I know, I think Mel is in the chat, and Mel also, I think she's in the banking field, so she would know probably even more about this than I do. This is a way to save your money in high yield savings accounts. In your traditional bank, wherever you bank, if you have your money in the bank, you should be getting an interest statement, especially now that tax season has come. And I guarantee you, unless you have a ton of money in that bank, your interest amount is not going to amount to a whole lot, because in the traditional savings, you're not really making enough, right, to have income. You're not really generating a lot of interest, and like I said, unless you have a ton of money in there. But they do have some high yield savings accounts. If you can find one of those, they have better interest rates than your traditional savings account. I know my mom was a lover of CDs. She would have some CDs. And, when my mom passed away, getting those CDs weren't easy to do. I thought it was just time consuming. I thought it was a better process. Now, this was years ago, so it could be different now. But the money didn't grow that much. So I'm not a fan of a CD, but if you are for like the ultimate safe investment, go for it. It locks your money for a fixed term, so 6 months to 5 years with higher interest rates. So it keeps it. You're not, if the money's not the interest rates aren't fluctuating. So anytime you're buying a house or anytime you're buying anything that has interest in it, you want to get that fixed rate. Fixed means it's not going to go up and down. I had a friend one time who had a variable rate on her her mortgage. She did not know she had a variable rate. And baby, when that rate kicked in, she was in tears, so upset, afraid about losing her home, and all because she did not understand what she was signing was, a variable rate. So it was low for so many years, and then that balloon kicked in, all that interest kicked in, and her payments doubled. So can you imagine, like, whatever you're paying for a mortgage or your apartment or wherever you live, doubling in the next month without any really warning, because she had no idea that this is what she had signed. So yeah, so that's just, kind of, you guys kind of read that fine print. A money market account combines features of a savings and checking account, typically offers higher interest rates, and allows limited check writing. And I've never had a money market account, so I don't even know how that all works. Has anybody in the chat, have you ever had a money market account? I'm not sure how the money market account works, but we will see. We will see if any of you have. So if I were going to invest my money, and I have, this is what I would do. Okay. Yeah, I just saw a comment Mel made in the chat. And I love this because this kind of went along with, let's go back to this page. This is kind of goes along with what I was saying. My mom had some CDs and passed away. And she says, folks really need to title the CDs Minnie Mouse Payment on Death, Daffy Duck. You'll need the individual's date of birth and social security number. Yes, and my dad, who I talk about, which is my stepdad, was like my dad. He told me not to call him stepdad. But so people won't get confused because I talk about my dad and my stepdad, but mostly my stepdad a lot. And my dad is deceased, so that's why I don't, say a whole lot. But, my stepdad, we went to, take care of her finances and stuff. And I feel like it was kind of like the runaround with that CD. It was like, just kind of disheartening, and made me not want to get a CD ever again. And now what I know about money, I would not be investing in a CD unless I just kind of had to. That would not be the route I would go. So what would be the route I am going? And, I am going to show you guys, actually, one of my stocks that I talked about last week, I actually took a screenshot. I'm going to show it. I made sure no accounting information was on here. It's one of my little safe investments. Well, we're going to go through that, and I'm going to show you how it actually looks. When you buy a stock, and how you save money over time. And this is like a safe bet. This is one of the best financial advisor of all time. Do you guys know who that guy is? Do you guys know who? That's a pop quiz question. The number one financial investor of all time. Who does anybody know who that person is? Or he's considered. Like, there is no official crown, I don't think, but I'm giving him the official crown if there's not an official crown. So do you guys know who that is? If you guys know who that is, put that in the chat. Let's see if anybody's answering the question. Let's see. Okay, all right. You guys are not talking tonight. Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is the best, the number one, the go-to financial investor of our time. And, I want to say he's 92 or 93. And so, yeah, if you ever get a chance to, listen to him speak or look him up on YouTube, follow his investment advice. It really is what I'm about to show you now. He just has more money to buy more things. And so, he keeps his money, making money for him. And so that's what we kind of want to be able to do. So if I was, giving somebody financial advice, which I am not, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you financial advice. But if I were going to tell somebody, what has been tried and true that works, is to invest in, if you don't want to buy individual stocks, you can invest in an ETF or an index fund. And an ETF is it's kind of considered low risk. It's diversified funds. So it's a bunch of stocks all put together in one. that you could purchase like you were buying on the stock market. And so it is probably the best thing you can do. Let me take this comment off. It's probably the best thing you can do if you want to get into the stock market, but you don't want to, you're too scared to buy one individual stock because you might be thinking, well, I don't even know how that works. So this is what you could do. You could buy an ETF, and people have become rich off of buying an ETF. You just have to know which ones to buy and which ones to put your money into. It's a type of an investment funds. Like I said, it's a collection of stocks, bonds, other assets, but it's traded on the stock market. And basically it diversifies your portfolio for you. So instead of me saying, okay, I'm going to buy Apple, I'm going to buy Nvidia, I'm going to buy, AMD, I'm going to buy Johnson & Johnson, I'm going to buy Eli Lilly. Instead of saying I'm buying all those individual stocks on my own, I'm going to buy a share of an ETF stock or an index fund, and it's going to have all those stocks in there for me. And all I have to do is pay into that one stock that holds all those stocks. Whoever thought of that, that was excellent. A way to get people involved in the stock market. So if you were going to get involved in the stock market, and if you wanted to stick your baby toe in there, this is what you would do. You would buy an ETF. And it's just like trading, as you buy it on the stock exchange, you buy and sell them throughout the trading day. And the benefit of them is that they have low expense ratio. So, if you have it's kind of like having a fund manager that you're paying, but you never see and talk to. Because, they're managing the money behind the scenes. But, investors, love this. And I'm going to tell you the ones that you should look at. Talk to a financial advisor before you buy them. But like I said, people are making a fortune off of these ETFs. So the first one I will tell you, this ETF helped me, I should say, to buy my first home. What I did was I saved. This is called the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. The symbol is VTI. And what I did was I was at work, and one of the custodians was big into investing. I'm an educator. And he had said, what are you doing with your money? What are you doing with that teacher money? You need to invest that money. And at the time, I wasn't doing anything. I was paying for my master's. I had a master's degree. I had just finished a master's degree, and I was kind of paying for that. And so he was telling me, you need to invest. And I said, I don't have any money. I can't afford it. At that point, I was not making a whole lot of money. And he said, you have at least $100 out of your pay. 50. I said, I don't have $100. He said, $50. I was like, oh, maybe I could do 50. So I started, set it up through Vanguard. I go to the company Vanguard, and I went through there. I got an RTI, not an RTI. I got a Roth IRA. And I got it through the company Vanguard, who has this Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. And so I set it up for them to automatically deduct payments out of my check. I started off with $50 a month. And then the next thing I know, had paid off my master's degree, whatever I owed on that. And I started adding $100. And then I started adding, I think eventually I might have started adding $200. But within a couple of years, without me even looking, I wasn't even watching it, looking at it, anything. I went to check it one day, and I started off with $50 a month. The next thing I know, I had double digits of money saved up over some years. That compounded interest worked for me. And when you buy a home, and now they have all kind of programs and waivers and this and that. But back when I bought my home, you needed because of my income and what I had going on, they wanted you to put money down. Well, I had money to put down. And it's all because I saved it through this Vanguard and just investing in companies, not really trading the individual stocks, but investing in that stock market through the VTI. So I will tell anybody to start there. One of my cousins, he's about 26 or 27 now. He lived with me me for a while. He was straight out of college, straight out of high school. I started getting him involved in Vanguard. I started telling him, put some money to the side and save it. I started getting him involved into the stock market. Now he trades stocks. He's probably doing what I want to do. But so yeah, it's just a little bit at a time. $50 a month. $20 a month. You think you might miss it, you probably won't. Once you put it there, you don't take it out. Now, one of the disadvantages to any of these things, right? When you pull your money out, if you go through Vanguard, you go through the company Vanguard. If you pull your money out, maybe I'll go to it and show you what it looks like to be on that page. This is through the stock market, what I have on the screen. But if you go to Vanguard, the company, to actually have the money withdrawn out of your account and all of that through Vanguard, which is what I did to buy my first home, if you go through them and you set it up that way, it's kind of easy. But I'll show you maybe how the screen looks when you get to it. So you can either do it that way, go to the actual company Vanguard and set it up through them to take your payments out, or you could go to a brokerage, which I'm going to share later, the ones I use, where you can actually buy the stock VTI. So it's kind of two ways you can do it. Another way, another ETF you could purchase is called the SPY. And if you're on YouTube, people are buying and trading the SPY. A lot of these day traders, which is what I want to do, are actually trading the SPY on YouTube. And if you get on YouTube every morning at 9:30, it's a lot of them on there doing that. It tracks the S&P 500. It includes the 500 largest U.S. companies. So that's what we mean about diversified. So Eli Lilly is probably in that group of 500. Eli Lilly, depending on the news, they go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. Well, this is more of a consistent investment because it's diversified, which means if Eli Lilly goes down, everything's not dragged down with it, right? So that's the good thing about being diversified is, it's consistent. Like the money is consistent. Things are consistent for the most part. Now it does take dips too, but it's not big, huge dips when it takes a dip, unless there's something that's, happening like a war. Sometimes you might hear, when things started with Ukraine, you started to see the stock market dip down. Now that we're talking about putting tariffs on different countries and we actually have followed through, the stock market dipped down, went down. And I think that was Friday. It was like a huge dip. But for the most part, you're not going to lose a bunch of money. And the one I'm going to show you where I, have like just a small amount of stock in there, and I probably should have been buying more over time, but I got distracted with buying options and selling options, which is a whole nother story. But I got sidetracked with that, and I didn't keep adding money to this one stock I'm going to show you. But you can do it. Like you can, pick up where I left off. Another one, number 3, is called QQQ. It tracks the NASDAQ 100. It focuses on the top tech companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google. I used to do some investing in QQQ. To me, that one is more volatile because this has one focus, which is tech, right? So it's like 100 companies versus 500. If something takes the dip, that 100 is going to dip down more so than that 500, right? Because the 500, you have a lot more diversity. And so I don't really mess around with the QQQ. People love it. Apple, Microsoft, Google, your top companies. We're using Google right now. If you have a YouTube channel, why aren't you invested in Google? I definitely would be invested in Google if I had a YouTube channel. But don't take my advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying. All right, so another one, number 4, which you could invest in is called VOO, VOO. It's Vanguard S&P 500. It's an exchange. It's an ETF. An ETF means exchange traded fund. And it tracks the S&P 500, which includes the 500 largest publicly traded U.S. companies. So Vanguard, if you haven't seen, you've seen the word Vanguard up here twice. That's because they are one of the premier companies, I would say, that to manage your money. Vanguard is just tried, trusted, and true, in my opinion. But I would, if you don't have a financial advisor, it's not really hard to get one. But the only disadvantage to a financial advisor is, other than they could be wrong, and investing your money in something you don't want, but you should be able to, guide that. But one of the disadvantages is you have to pay them a fee. And Vanguard is well known because they're one of the lowest companies that have a fee. I think their fee is like 0.443 or something like that. It's not even, most companies charge like 1%. It's under that. I believe it's under that. So Vanguard is tried, trusted, and true. I just happen to be looking over. I see. So do they have an ETF for these weight loss drugs? They are going up. I'm sure not yet that I know of, but I'm pretty sure it may come up. I'm sure it probably will come up, that with the focus. But right now, the ones that are dominating is just Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk now. So I'm not sure, but I'm sure that's probably coming up. If they have that, I don't know anything about it. I don't think they do, though. So here's, I told you guys about this stock last week. This is an example of stocks I own, or like a stock I own that I bought this stock. This is Bank of America. I don't know if you can see the symbol. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. BAC is a symbol, ticker symbol for Bank of America. Over here, you see Bank of America. And one of the ways you can make money off of stocks without just holding it and letting them appreciate over time is to buy a stock that pays out a dividend. So as a shareholder, they're paying you money for being a shareholder. I only have 10 of these, and I shouldn't even use the word only, but I am. So you can see this is kind of telling you the history of this stock. So I own 10.375097 shares. When I bought this stock, I bought it at different prices over time. So whenever you hear in the stock market term average down, that means whatever you bought it for, your goal is that right here, your average cost is to be as low as it can go, as low as it can go. This is a little graph that tells me, and I didn't, take a screenshot of that, but you could see this is on the Robinhood app, by the way. This tells me like a week, a month, 3 months, a year to date, which means like up until this point, which is what February, how the stock is doing. This tells me a year out, and further on, it goes up to 5 years out. It'll tell me how the stock is doing, which is really important so I could track trends, see when it's high, when it's low, what months is it high, what months is it low, all those kind of things. This is my Robinhood account, and I don't have a whole lot in here. This is one of the few things I have in this account now. Robinhood used to be on and popping for me, and I just kind of sold things and moved things over somewhere else. But I love Robinhood. I just, this is where I do like some my options, and I don't really have any options called but one right now. So right now my Robinhood account is pretty quiet. I have my Eli Lilly piece of share that I bought. I have it in Robinhood. So this tells me, my average cost is 30.68. The stock is right now 47.10. This is it's getting close to like the all-time high of the stock. So this isn't a stock that goes up to $100, $200. This stock is steady and true, right? This stock is going up slowly but surely. I should have, took a picture of the graph so you can see the progression over time. But this is telling me right now my 10.37, stock is worth $488.67. It's 40% of my total portfolio that I have in Robinhood. Today I made $4.05. Over the course of my ownership, I've made $170, which is 53%. Now, normally, if I wasn't holding on to this for the long term, I would sell this stock. And the reason why I would sell it is because I've made 50% of my money. So most of the time, the stocks I buy, I want to double it. So like, let's say if I paid, so it would be 100% here. So that means I would make, that would be $340. If I had made $340, I have totally, doubled my money. And so of my initial investment that I put in. So, I don't plan on ever selling this really. I started to sell it a couple of days last week when we started talking about it. And I thought, why would I sell this? I have no need to sell this. I'm holding on to this baby. So I just, this is the reason why I have this stock. It's not a mover and a shaker really, but it pays out a dividend. And so here is what this has paid out, this past year. So, in December, it pays out 4 times a year. So you can see April, June, September, December. And because I only have 10, I'm getting $2 and what, 70 cents, $2.70, 2.49, 2.49. But I ask you, who is giving you money? Who is giving you money just to own something of theirs? Like, that's like you giving me your brush and telling me I can have it and hold on to it, and I'm paying you to hold on to my brush. Like, who does that? No one's gonna give you money. So far, I've made $170. And how much? 32 cents. Who's giving you $170? Who's just giving you that money? No one is. Without you doing a thing. A thing. I don't even have to be their friend. I don't even have to love Bank of America. I could talk bad about it. They don't know. So I'm just making money from just having it just sitting there and earn interest and get the dividend. Now, I only own 10 shares. Just imagine if I owned 100 shares, if I owned 1,000 shares, if I owned, 10,000 shares. Like if I was like Warren Buffett, just imagine how much his dividends are paying out. So that's how the rich stay richer. That's how the wealthy get wealthier. They know how to, buy these stocks that pay out dividends and keep putting money into them. Now, I told you guys last time, and, I didn't realize I was not doing this, but so I used to, the last time when you get paid a dividend, you could either reinvest it or you could just have the money, you could withdraw it out of your account, or you could just have it sit in your account. Well, I started having it sitting in my account, but I was reinvesting it, and that's what you see here. And then the last time I was doing that is in 2022. I forgot all about that. I stopped reinvesting the dividend, and I was doing that because I wanted more money to buy more of some other stocks. So, because I remember telling you guys that last week that's what I did. So I'll show that again. So if you're interested in buying Bank of America, you could look up any other stocks. They're not the only stock that pay out an investment, but they pay a nice investment. So $2.70. I have 10 shares, and this is what they're paying me. 4 times a year just for holding the stock. As long as I don't sell, they're going to pay me that. And as long as the stock goes up, that's going to go up. If the stock dips down, obviously that's going to go down. But right now, I am up 53%, which is great. That's better than Vegas odds. So, so Bank of America is a stock you can invest in. So they're paying me. And so that's another thing, it's just so funny. So in my account for the year, how much is that? Let's just round up 3, 6, 9, 12. So they give me about $12 a year just to own their stock, which I think is so cool. So if I wanted to see that money grow, I would have to put more money into it. There are some stocks that they pay out a much higher dividend than Bank of America, but I went with Bank of America because Warren Buffett, is the most successful investor of our time. He, really advocates for Bank of America. And also, it's not a volatile stock, right? It's not dipping down. So today it's 47. Tomorrow, unless something drastic happens, it's not going to be 40. Like some of the stocks dip down, like Eli Lilly could go down $100 tomorrow. This stock is not going to do that. It can't because it's only at 47. But it's not going to go down to 37 tomorrow unless something detrimental happens. So it's just pretty consistent. It's tried and true. So that's why I go with that. So if you want to invest now, I have some other stocks investments that I'm saving up and adding to for my what do you call that? Retirement. And I have I love Fidelity. Fidelity is a stock brokerage where you can buy stocks. Fidelity is amazing. I've just never had a problem with them at all, like at all. I should be giving you a link where you could go to, and I didn't think to do that, but Fidelity is awesome. I would try them out if you're interested at all in buying the stock. You could just buy one stock, one stock. You don't have to buy a ton of them. You could buy one, start off with one and work your way up. And the nice thing is, I was explaining this to the downsides actually, how you could buy partial shares. You do not have to buy a whole share of a stock. So like Eli Lilly, I want to say the last time I looked, it was 800 and something dollars. You could put $50 toward Eli Lilly, and then as you add more money to it, eventually you'll have a whole stock. At one point, Eli Lilly, I think it was over. It was, if it wasn't over 1,000, it was 1,000. I think at one point this summer, Eli Lilly has gone up there. They're going to be back up there again. Right now, they have dipped down. Let me go to see what Eli Lilly is looking like, how much their stock is right now. Let's see. It's $842.18. So you could put $42 into that stock if you want. You could put $10 into that. I don't know if you could put as little as 10. I think you can though, into the stock, and just keep, adding to it until you eventually have one whole Eli Lilly stock. That is the way to do it. Right now it's 842. I would wait till it dips down into the 700s again, because remember, you're trying to get that average as low as you can go. Remember, the average is low. When the average is low, you're going to make more money. So my average is $30.68. That's why I'm making a profit of $170.32 because I bought low. So that's the idea in stocks. You buy low, you trade high. So Charles Schwab, I don't love Charles Schwab. They're okay. They merged with TD Ameritrade. I don't know if anybody used to have a TD Ameritrade account. I love TD Ameritrade. I don't know what happened. They combined with Charles Schwab. I don't really use them as much. I sold all the stock I had in there, and I just kind of have the account, just sitting there waiting for me to put some more money into it. The best thing about these two, and all of them on my list here, is that they don't charge you to trade. Back in the day, before Robinhood, so we can really thank Robinhood. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back and correct myself, but I doubt it. Robinhood started with the buying a partial share. Robinhood kind of catered to the younger people, buying a partial share, not charging you to trade. Before, to place a trade, it used to be like $2.95, $5 and something odd cent they would charge you. Well, it became a thing to charge no commission to trade, and that is what attracts people to those brokerages. So I have to give Robinhood credit for that, because I think they were, if not the first, one of the first. And so Robinhood, I love. That's what I was just showing you. My Bank of America is on there. The problem with Robinhood, though, is that if there is like a crash or something happens and goes down, good luck getting a trade through on Robinhood. When that whole GameStop happened, I got in on that action, and I went to try to, I bought super cheap. And when I went to sell it, everything crashed. Nobody could buy it. We're all in these groups like, what happened? What happened? What happened? You could not sell. And so I think that's Netflix that has a documentary about the whole GameStop thing. I was fascinated by that GameStop situation that happened when GameStop, all these investors decided they were going to pull their money together, and they were going to, buy GameStop because they were so upset that they were closing GameStop. And they thought, oh, this is not fair. We're going to pour money into the stock. And that stock shot up. They made people millionaires. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Unfortunately, I was not one of those people. But I did get a little bit of action, and I could have gotten more if Robinhood had not crashed and halted all the trading. There was another time, it was a couple more times since then. They had a lot of backlash that Robinhood halted trading because it's so overwhelming. Just imagine millions of people are on this site at one time trying to, get a trade in. So, I mean, that would be the one advantage, but I really love Robinhood. It is ideal for beginners. If you're a beginning investor, Robinhood is the way to go. I think, in my humble opinion. And then E-Trade has been around for a long time. E-Trade started stepping their game up to compete with your Robinhoods and Charles Schwabs and Fidelities of the world, but especially Robinhood. If you're active, an active trader, E-Trade has been around for a long time. And people associate that E-Trade, the E for meaning like, internet and all things internet. And so people love that. People love the whole E-Trade, brokerage. I've never used E-Trade, so that's the one I don't have. I also have a 403b, with my, like kind of like a supplement to my retirement. I started a 403b like years ago, and I'm telling you, maybe 10 years ago, I don't even know if it's been 10 years, but yeah, so I kind of look at my statements and I'm in awe. Like, I'm like, geez, oh man, just put money away, not looking at it, putting it to the stock market in a safe investment. I have most of it in a safe investment. Some of it is, more riskier. But it balances itself out, and my money has just grown over time. So where is somebody just going to give you in 10 years $8,000 or $10,000? They're just giving it to you on top of what you already invested. So there's just nothing else like it. So you guys, if you're not investing in the stock market, I would encourage you to, with a guide. Like, if you're totally new, don't go in there with your money, putting your money in there without talking to somebody who knows what they're doing, because you're going to lose your money. I've experienced that with people, been there, done that. One of the books you could use to help you with investing, now they may have another book that's updated, like an updated version, but Investing for Dummies, great book. I don't love the title because I don't love the word dummies. I'm an educator. I don't really believe people are dummies. I've always found something great and special, and everybody's smart at something. So I don't love the book title, but I love the book. But you guys know the Investment for Dummies. They have everything for dummies. Pretty soon they're going to have, GLP-1s for dummies. But this is a great start. If they have an updated version, I would get that. All this stuff really does not change, but some strategies may change because the market changes. Another book I love, and it's put away. I had so many books on my bookshelf. I kind of decluttered things, and it's in the closet. But one of the books I love is called The Intelligent Investor. If somebody wants to have a book club with me and read this book, and I probably will do it like later on this year. This is a great book to learn the lingo. I don't know who it's by. Let me look it up really quick. But it's called The Intelligent Investor. Is I think a guy named Graham wrote it. Let me see. But anyway, that's a book that I'm going to put it in the chat, but I'm trying to find the author. I think it's a red book. The book is red. Yes, by Benjamin Graham. Yes. Benjamin Graham. So I would get that book, and if you can learn those terms, you're going to be off to a great start. Let me make sure I spelled his name correctly. Benjamin Graham, Graham. Yes. So that's a start. That book is going to help you with the lingo, help you with some of the terminology. If you can't remember tomorrow what an ETF is, if you can't remember tomorrow what stocks, stock it really means, if you can't remember what a trade means, if you can't remember a dividend, any of those kind of words, like that lingo in the book, it's a hard read. It's not like think about the hardest book you've read. It's probably harder than that, I would say, because you're reading, but you're also trying to understand. And it's like French. If you don't know French, like this, investing can be difficult. So just try to tackle it. And if if you guys read it out there and you guys want me to do more of we can even have a separate something where we're talking about, I'm going to try to put something like that together where we're talking about investing and trying to learn it. We could do that. You can learn it. If I could do it, anybody could do it. Like I said, if I could do it, anybody could do it. And I know some people are very intimidated by money. And you seem really smart when you know about money. And really, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Remember, I'm an educator. Let me make myself big for this because I'm an educator. And who told me about stocks? It wasn't my mom. It wasn't my dad. It wasn't a professor. It wasn't, a financial advisor. It was a custodian in my school. It was a custodian. And he knew more about finances than most people in that whole school. So it's not about you have a degree, I have enough degrees where I probably could have a doctorate right now. It's not about that. You don't have to be the smartest person to learn this. That's what's great about it. That's what's great about it. Once you open your mind to wanting the knowledge, it doesn't matter what title it goes with your name. You could be a stay-at-home mom and you could be a stock trader because that's probably where you need to be trading those stocks is at home. So I just think that you have to open your mind to learning about it. You have to open your mind. When I meet other people that know about stocks and trading and all of that, I probably sound like a smarter person because I'm using those words. I know what I'm talking about. I've lived it. I've experienced it. And the only thing I don't like about YouTube is it's some gurus that I follow, and they don't always tell when they lose money. You always hear when they win, most of them. Now they've learned because there are some people who come on YouTube and are more transparent and share. And so to compete with those people, then they had to start opening up and talking about, yeah, I took a loss. So it's just kind of funny how, they just kind of turn me off because I know they're not really showing their portfolios. They're showing you what they want you to see. And I see why, because you're on YouTube. I get that. But some of it you could show and still show people that, you're not, if everybody knew the stock market and was as good as people want to think they are, they'd all be rich. They wouldn't even be on YouTube. You'd be too rich to be on YouTube. They wouldn't be on YouTube, right? And if you are, you'd be giving away a lot of things for free, and they're not. So that's how I know that, they're not always, doing, making the best money. There are some legit ones out there that are tried and true, but they they lose too, and it's hard to give advice and tell people what to buy. I am going to share this, and I think I shared this with Kim J. My beautiful kind of accountability partner. One of the things I started doing was when my daughter gets money, and I'm just so blessed to have people that are, supportive and giving her money for her birthdays and this and that. And I committed to buying her an Apple stock, a share of Apple stock, and pooling that money. And I put it in the savings, and I'm going to let it, stay in there. And then I'll go at one point when Apple goes down because she has money saved up to buy stock. So, I want to, in order for us, we always hear generational curse, generational curse. My parents weren't, I don't know if they were good with finances or not. They were good with finances. You know why? Because I didn't know that we didn't have stuff, until I got around people that had way more than I had. So they were good with the money that they had. But did they teach me about stocks and bonds and interest rates and how everything works? No, 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 no. Did I know how much money they made? No, 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 no. My first car, a boyfriend bought that. We actually were engaged. He bought me my first car. My parents did not buy me my first car. So it's just my parents did not know about money. They didn't talk about money. My grandmother never talked about money. My grandparents. So, and sometimes in certain communities, you don't talk about finances. And I do with my daughter. I talk about it. I tell you guys who talk to me on the phone. I tell her all the time, we're on a retirement budget. She's in that store. She's counting her money. The salespeople always tell me now where they take cash. A lot of times people don't take cash, but she got money for Christmas. If you talk to me, she's cleaned up at Christmas time. And one of my friends gave her two $50 bills, and one of them she spent, and the other one she's saving for I don't know what she's saving, but she's saving. I have her in that store. She's counting out money, and guess what? If she's 2 cents and can't afford it, she doesn't get it. I don't let her get it. I tell her, you got to get that 2 more cents and you can come back and get it. I am teaching her to be financially responsible. I wish somebody would have taught me that, because if somebody would have taught me that, I wouldn't probably be on YouTube. I'd be going around volunteering my time teaching people all this stuff that I know. Because I wouldn't need money, right? I would just be doing it for the passion of it, which is hopefully I'll get to that. But I am teaching my daughter that. I am teaching her, if you're $1 short, you don't get it. And you know what she said to me? Well, Mom, you have it. It's Mom's money. Your money is your money. My money is my money. Once you told me you wanted to spend your money, she's so quick to say, that's my money. I want to spend my money. Okay, I'm going to show you how far your money can actually go. And so I always get so many compliments about what a great lesson. People will walk up to me and say, oh my gosh, this is so great. You're making your daughter use her money, pay with her money. And so, hopefully when I'm long gone, these kind of things will stick with her. But I definitely, believe in teaching kids when they're young. So, you might be saying, and it's not, because, a lot of us, I know some of us in here are 40, 50, 40s and 50s. If you plan on you living till 70, it's not too late. And hopefully you're planning on living till 90 or 100. So if you're 40 or 50, it's not too late. It's not too late. You still have 20 more years ahead of you. So 10 of those years, you could at least probably, if you put a certain amount of money in, you could probably, if you put $2,500 in, I would tell you in 4 years, you might have 5,000. I mean, yeah, you could still do it. You have to, just put in your mind, like you did about these GLP-1s, that I want to grow my money. And so I always say, start off with what you're using. All of you guys on here are using some kind of, Eli Lilly or Novo Nordisk product, or you're using compounds. So, I would invest in Eli Lilly. Why not? Why not? Let them, buy your groceries. Just think, Eli Lilly is more volatile than that Bank of America stock I showed you. However, you can make money faster off of Eli Lilly. You can. And when I'm going to show you how much money I have made off of Eli Lilly just this summer. A quick little investment I did with them, seeing that stock go up, go up, go up. I had to get in on that. And so I'm going to show you guys that when I reveal how much I'm going to make, or either how much I may have lost by April. And Eli Lilly dipped down here recently into the 700s, and I didn't add money to it because of the sake of, this experiment I was doing on my channel, where I said I'm only putting no more than $50 in. But really, I could have averaged down and made and been more cost effective, but I didn't do it because it would kind of go against what I said I was going to do. So if you don't get anything else out of tonight, pick one stock. Pick one stock. It doesn't have to be Bank of America. That's a dividend stock. That's a good one because it's going to pay you to actually own the stock. But I would talk to a financial advisor, have them give you one stock. The rule of thumb is, and everybody's on a phone, if you're either on a Samsung phone, an Android phone, if you're on that Apple phone, why don't you own an Apple stock? Apple stock is I'm not going to say not that expensive, because for some it may be, but an Apple stock is $232. When I first bought an Apple stock, it was under $100. It was under $100. So just think about how much money I have made over time from Apple. And I think Apple's giving out a dividend now. They used to didn't, it's a small one, but it's better than nothing. So, Google, I also own Google stock. I mean, Google is another one. We're all on YouTube. Why don't you own that? Own a piece of it, own a piece of it. And so when you don't know, you can't do it. Now you know. It doesn't even have to. You could take $20 and buy into Google. Google is much cheaper than even Apple. I haven't looked at Google in a while. I have the kind of investments now that are like watching paint dry. Like I always say, I don't watch it. It's a safe investment. It's building up over time. I don't really watch it. And so, if I don't look at it for a year from now, I probably, in my Fidelity account, since, the new president has started, I probably made $500 or $600 doing nothing. I don't do anything. It's just in there, right? And that's the kind of money people want to make. So where I have these risky investments is I'm trading options, and you can look that up and see what that. I don't want to confuse people. That's totally different. That's how I ended up in debt. Trading options is kind of risky. Um, that's how I made money from Eli Lilly. So even if I don't make a profit by April, I'm still going to hold on to that, add to it. But even if I don't make a profit by April, I've already made money off Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly has already paid for my medication. Up to this point, just on my quick little investment that I did over the summer. So I am self-taught. Nobody taught me. Like I say, I want to say that again because, people have told me, oh, you're really smart in this group. Oh, you're really smart. You're so smart. I learned this from a custodian who, is a smart guy. He's just, he's not a teacher. You don't have to be a teacher. You don't have to be a banker. You don't have to be, an educated person. You don't have to have a degree. I don't think he doesn't have a master's degree. I still talk to him to this day. I haven't seen him in a while. We had an event where they all got together this summer and I did not go. So I haven't seen him in like over a year. But when I see him, I always say thank you because he is the one who got me started on learning about stocks. And so, don't let people intimidate you with their fancy lingo because you can learn it too. You can learn it too. But I think, if you have a child, get your kids involved. So I want everybody here to commit to looking into one of these brokerages. I'm going to put them up again. Look into the brokerage you want to buy your stock in. Buy one stock. I'm telling you, Robinhood is the easy one. If all this seems foreign to you, I would go with Robinhood. Take $10 and invest it into a stock. If you have a phone right now, whatever phone that is, buy $10 of that share of that company. If you have more, great. If you don't, then don't. But if you have $10, start there. I would do Eli Lilly. If you guys are using Eli Lilly's, medication, I would do that. I would do whatever, look up your insurance company. If your kids are eating a bunch of McDonald's, buy McDonald's stock. I have a feeling, though, McDonald's is going to be, I don't know. I'm not going to say, but yeah. But if you're eating a lot of McDonald's, I don't ever see McDonald's going bankrupt. But I do think McDonald's is going to have to take a turn and add some healthier options, moving forward. Now that these weight loss medications have kicked in. If you eat lean cuisine, invest in that. If you shop at Kroger, find out what stock they are. Some things that are tried and true that aren't going to belly up tomorrow. The dollar stores were a big, huge hit, shooting up, making a lot of money. Now there's been kind of a turn. So I'm thinking people aren't buying stuff at the dollar store. Where are they shopping? Well, guess what? Where they're shopping now is Five Below. Look at that Five Below stock. Look at how that stock has shot up over time. Hey, Cece, she says, I'm late, but I'm here. So we're talking about, just investing. And so start off with, if you don't, put a stock, like I'm buying an share of Apple for my daughter. So, eventually she'll be, she'll be set. If I could keep this going, just think about when she gets 18, she's 8. Now she'll be 8 soon. Just think about how much money she will then have, to invest, to do whatever she wants to do with it. Hopefully she'll keep it. But, so let's just say, let's set a goal. We're going to play a game if you guys want to play a game. This is like about budgeting and money, a little bit about money. But let's set a goal for you guys to buy one stock. And I'm just going to ask a question and you can answer it or not, but I hope you will. If you could buy one stock, something that you use or a company on a regular basis, what would it be? So what stock, if you could afford to, and you don't need a ton of money. Remember we said $10, $20, $50, you could buy partial shares. What stock would you buy today if you could? And I'm going to tell you my stock that I would buy today if I could. And I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just saying what I would buy. And I already have some. I already have some of the big ones. There really isn't a big one you can name that I don't have in my Fidelity account. I have a ton of all the big names. Like if you go and you Google the top 15 stocks, that you could buy today, I have all of those, like all of those in one pot, and it's diversified, right? It's all diversified. And so when the stock market, somebody asked me the other day, weren't you shaking in your boots when the stock market crashed? No, I was not, because my investment is diversified, right? I don't have them all in tech or all in retail or all in this. It's a variety of things that I have. So those are the ones that I would buy. I'm going to tell you, so the people putting that, I'm going to tell you how much your stock is costing right now. I think I told you earlier, if you're buying Eli Lilly stock, you can still buy a partial share. You can put that $20 or $10 or however many, 50, 100, but it's going right now for 800. I shouldn't say going like we're on the auction, but the stock right now is worth $842.18. And I'm going to tell you the all-time high for the year was, what are they saying, 972, so it was close to that 1,000. The 52-week range was 972. So you just think you're buying it. If you bought it right now, let's say you bought a whole stock and it went back up to, and usually stocks swing back up. If you bought it, right now, you would make $100 profit plus if it went back to its all-time high. And just let me give you a little, history here. Most stocks circle back around to that all-time high. Once they make it, they usually a good stock. Now, some of them that aren't good don't, but they usually circle back around. So that's $100 out there that that you could probably make off of that once that goes back up to the 972. But for me personally, I would not buy at 842. I would wait till it dips down again. Something happens, the wind blows too hard, a study comes out, and instead of making 100 people feel better, they make 99 people feel better, and the stock plummets. That's just how the stock market works. So I would hold off on buying, but I mean, $20 or $10 you put in right now, it's not bad. If you wanted to do that, to buy a whole stock right now, I just would not. I would wait and see if it's going to dip down a little bit low. That's what I would do. So let's see. Novo Nordisk, their stock is now this might be a buy because this stock has gone downhill. What is going on over there? It's $85.73. Now, this is a stock that has the potential to double because this stock, the high this year, in the 52 range, not just this year, 52 weeks. So it was as high as 148.15. So just think about it. It's 85 now. $85. So it's almost has the potential to double, right? To get its all-time high back. Not quite doubling, but close. So that's a good one. That is a good one. And somebody else said Lily. Let's see, anybody else? I paid them enough to pay out of pocket for any of my medication. They need to start paying me back. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's why you have to get in on their stock so you can make money off of it. You got to think about it like that. Don't think about it as like, okay, you're giving them a set amount of money for their stock. In exchange, when they go up, that's how you're going to make the money. That's how you're going to make the money. You can't think about it like that. If I'm reading that correctly, I may be misreading what you're saying, but yeah, so we all are paying them a ton of money, right? But I've already made mine back, off of a trade I made this summer. I got on it when I saw I bought low, when I saw they were climbing up to that 972. I bought a quick option and sold it. And so so I was thinking like you're thinking, like, I'm paying them all this money, let me get some of my money back. And that's exactly what I did. So if you watch it and learn about stocks, you can do the same thing. It really is not, it sounds intimidating, but it's not as intimidating as it is, because if it was, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be taking time out to learn about it. Anything else? Any other stocks? So yeah, $85. Yeah, for that Novo Nordisk is a good buy now. And let me see what the experts are saying. The experts are saying, the candlesticks are saying to sell it. So maybe hold off because and see if it dips down a little lower. The all-time low so far, for the 52-week range was $78. So it has the potential to go even below that 85. It was at 78. And a lot of times stocks, just like they shoot back up to their all-time high, they will also circle back down to their low or sometimes go below their low. So it has the potential to go down in the 70s. So yeah, that's just a thought. Um, let's see. Any other stocks that people would have in mind? Like what would you buy today? I would tell you, Vanguard, the VTI, the VOO, that's a great one to buy with little to no risk. I'm not going to say no risk because all of it has risk, right? Because you're putting your money in it. But those are some things that you could do today. So so this is called show me the money. When people say, if the wealthy people say this, and I used to always think like, oh, that's a bunch of, BS. But you have to have money to make money. The thing I learned though, being a regular person, just like you, is that you don't have a lot of money. You don't have to have a lot of money to make a lot of money. Now that is the truth. You do not. You have to have some money to make money, but you don't have to have a lot of money to make money. Because again, I wouldn't have a story to tell if that were the truth. So I'm just doing little things like, it's that Fidelity fund I told you, that's going right into taking me into retirement. And that, hopefully in retirement, I won't even have to touch it, but, who knows? I may have, and in Ohio, a lot of our retired teachers haven't been getting a cost of living raise. So they, if they retired 10 years ago and their paycheck was $2,000 a month, they're only still getting $2,000 a month. They didn't have like an inflation raise. Which is they were promised that they would have, or they thought they would have, and they don't have that. So I have to go in my retirement thinking that could be me. So that's why I have these side investments. So I have my Fidelity, I haven't even talked about Bitcoin and all the stuff I'm doing with the crypto stuff. That I'm, learning about and doing and holding on to. So I got that going on. Then I have what do you want to call it? My 403b, which it's like a kind of compatible to a 401k. I'm investing in that. So I'm making some good financial decisions. I'm also making some that aren't so good, because I'm taking some risky trades. Because, I tell you, my dream is to be a stock trader. And so I'm making some risky trades. And, I need to cut that out. Like now that I'm on a retirement budget, I am cutting that out. Like that Robinhood account would have looked totally different. Where it says my portfolio that 42%, that Bank of America has always been like 10% of my portfolio or 5%. I pretty much sold everything off, took the profits I needed to take, pay some things off, and I thought I can't be stock trading the way I want to trade while I'm trying to retire. So I'm just kind of taking a different turn because of that. So that's it. That is it. That is it. So I hope you learned something. You can always go back here and watch. And, I'm going to put some stuff together so people could have like maybe a handout or paper. If we could have a book club at some point down the road talking about all things finances. I just think you have to be very careful. Like I said, for me, I think people have to show you the losses and the wins, like, because, a good idea would be to go and follow some people on maybe on YouTube that are talking about finances. But if they're only saying, oh, I'm making all this money, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm fabulous, I'm this, I'm that. No. Everybody's losing. Trust me. Most people, I shouldn't say everybody, because there's never an every. A lot of people are losing, because if they weren't losing, they wouldn't be on YouTube, right? They wouldn't be monetized and trying to make money on YouTube if they weren't losing at some point. They still want that income rolling in. They're not rich enough to just sit at home and, volunteer. I remember this lady, she used to always say, I don't have to, she's since retired, but she used to always say, I don't have to work here. Remember, I'm an educator now. I don't have to work here. We would tell her, then retire and give somebody else an opportunity to have the job. When people say they don't have to work, I don't believe you. Because if you really didn't have to work, retire and give somebody else that job. And so, I hear that, I've kind of heard that often. Or volunteer. That's what you could do. Give somebody else the paying job and volunteer. So if you're working somewhere and taking an income, you must need it. If not, take my advice, please, and retire. Let somebody else get paid to do it, and you can, help somebody have a job. That always cracked me up. And she's actually her husband did well, and she's actually retired, living fabulous. She is fabulous and retired. But she never gave up that paycheck. So I always say, yeah, hey, people say one thing. I always go with what people do, not necessarily what they say. So if you guys want to play this game, we can play this game really quick and then we can roll out of here or not. So I haven't looked in the chat. I just kind of wanted to just talk about all things finances. Do you guys have any questions for me? I don't know if any of this sounded like I was speaking Spanish or French, or you got it. People are saying hello. We have our friends in the chat. Thank you guys. Telling me I'm muted. Yeah, you have to remind me because I mute myself every time I start. Oh, you look gorgeous. Oh, thank you. I'm not feeling my very best, so I take that compliment and run with it. Hi, sweet tea. Everybody saying hello to each other. We love it. It's like we're a big family here. Sorry, ladies, I'm listening, but today is a busy time at work. Hello. I'm walking on my walking pad. Yes. I love that. Mel, we love that interview. I watched your interview on the downsides. That was awesome. Loved it. Taisha. All right. People are saying hello. Going to teach some budgeting. What tools do you use? Like YNAB and Ramsey tools? Yes, that's what I use. I used the Ramsey tool to get out of debt the first time I ever got out of debt. And it's the Total Maker. I put the name in the chat, and the chat should replay. But this is the book that I used to get myself out of debt. At that time, I knew nothing about stocks or anything. It's been a week, just had to buy a refrigerator, so I need all this advice Dee is giving. Yes, the Turtle Diary. So you guys have to commit to putting $10 or $20 into something. Dee, I'm about that, with a little less going to entertainment and more to my 401k. Yes. Sounds like you have a fabulous job too, Mel, and that you love it, which is a plus. Canceling some streaming subscriptions. Yes. See, that's the way to do it. You got to get rid of some stuff. So I don't know if you have some place for that money to go, but you could put it into a stock. Amen. Got to get advice on this money plan. Yes. Mia, yes, you can do it. I love YNAB, every dollar. Great too. I've never tried that. The every dollar. I have to try that. Hey, downsizing diva, says Kim. She's spelling the name wrong. People are saying hello. Folks really need to title. Okay, where I read that. Yes. Yeah, that CD. I'm not a fan of CDs, but if you can't, do this, you don't feel comfortable doing the stuff. Doing the CD is better than not doing anything. Let me say that, because I don't want people to be like, she said don't do the CD. It's okay. I just think that it's faster ways to grow your money than that. Mel said Warren Buffett. Yeah, Warren Buffett is my guy. I just love him. I've watched the story of his life so many times. So do they have an ETF? We talked about that for the weight loss drugs. Not that I'm aware of, but they will. I thought I had a splinter in my heel. I pulled on it. It was a long black nylon string from my stitches. Oh, it was 3/4 inches long. Really good hearing. Oh my goodness. So it doesn't sound like it was painful to get it out, which is, I guess, is good. Oh, Mia, that probably was scary, but thankfully you're healing. Yes. And then I put this book in the chat, The Intelligent Investor. Some people are gifted with that stuff. Yes, they really are. True, Taisha. And my parents knew nothing about money, or grandparents either. I learned on my own. I bought my own first car and all that stuff. Yeah. I didn't have to buy my own first car. And a boyfriend did buy me my first car. And my parents love that. And I drove that car all around college too. Yeah, isn't that funny? But my parents didn't teach me about money because they didn't know. The Turtle Diary said, yes, most Black families don't teach how to accumulate generational wealth. It's wonderful you are giving her that info. Yes, and you can too. You could give her that info too, your kids. Yes, oftentimes they didn't teach money because they didn't know. Yeah, they just didn't know. No one taught them. And some barely had enough to feed and pay bills. That little extra went into a jar, can, drawer, or between the mattress. Didn't trust no one else to hold their money. Yes, 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 yes. But we can't say that nowadays because now it's so much out there for us to know. So we can't use that excuse. Like, we don't know, we don't know, we don't know. Now we just have to, YouTube is a great resource. Now all you have to do is want to learn it, right? You have to seek the information out. Feed everyone. Yeah, I got that. It's true. I think our generation is learning and growing to the best of our ability. I was the first to go to college and to own a home. Yes, 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 yes. I can relate to that as well. Not own a home, but the first to go to college for sure. Yes, I'm here, but yeah, hello, Cece. Hello, Lynn. I love that name. Yes, true, sweet tea. Each generation will have to access even more knowledge. Knowledge is power. I'm with you. I'm so thankful for that. Yes, yes, yes. Eli Lilly, people would own, and that's what I said. What stock would you own if you could today? Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk. I have a hard time saying that name sometimes. Lilly. Okay, we talked about that with Z. Yeah, it dropped this week. Yeah, it's a good buy at the moment. Yeah, but it went even lower. So I don't know. I think I would hold. I don't know. I haven't really been listening to the Novo Nordisk news like I have Eli Lilly. So I'm kind of behind. The news drives the stock market too. Like whatever they say on that news, that's going to determine what's going to happen with those stocks. Yes, Mel's interview was great, but I knew it would be. Yes, yes, yes. Hi, Kelly. Hello, hello. I have my 401k through Vanguard. Yes, Vanguard is what's up. I could go through that account to look into their stock. Yes, 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 yes. You should be able to, but you could just go to one of those. Look it up. You could just type it in Google, Vanguard stocks or Vanguard Total Index Fund, Vanguard Index Funds, and you could go from there. But you could also go through your company as well. I need to call Teamsters and update my pension, and they won't let me add to it. What? Wow. I wonder why. Debbie says, I just got out of a school class. What did I miss? Just kidding. Hello, beautiful ladies. Hello. And Mel is saying thank you. We were talking about all things stocks oh, Mel says she left to shower. Yeah, we were talking more about stocks and what to do with your, extra money. So hopefully you guys commit to buying one stock, one share of something in the next month. So what's today's date? This is the beginning of February. All things fabulous in February. I'm going to ask you guys in March, what did you buy and how much of it? Because you remember, you only have to buy one. So the goal should be to, if you take $10 or $20, put it in that stock. In some place like Robinhood, I would do Robinhood, Charles Schwab, or Fidelity, one of those two, or those three. And, if you could buy a whole stock, great. If you can't, put whatever you can in it. And then watch your money grow. Add to it over time. Like you got to add to it. Adding to it is what's going to compound that money. So extra money, any extra money you have, whatever you have, or you maybe sacrifice something to put for there. So for instance, for me, I said the same thing, Debbie. Then I realized I was paying for subscriptions that I'm not even using. I canceled one today. I canceled 3 last week. So I told them I'm saving between $300 and $400 a month on stuff I wasn't even using. I didn't even know it was coming out of my money still because I'm not even using it. So maybe you have something like that. Maybe, I don't know if you splurge your money on something, maybe instead of buying, something, expensive at the grocery store or something at the grocery store, you could sacrifice not getting to put that $5 or $10 into a stock. $5 or $10. Now, if you just don't have it, you don't have it, and that's okay too. But if you do, that's what I would do. I would put it in the stock market, and once you add to it and you see that money grow over time, you're going to be thanking your lucky stars that you did. That's why I said, who is just giving you $100, like not wanting anything from you, right? That's another thing too, because people will say, "Oh, my husband will give me money. Oh, this person will give me that money." Okay, yeah, but everybody in your life has some kind of expectation of you. The stock market does not. All they want you to do is, buy the stock and hold it over time, watch your money grow, and they are actually, a lot of these stocks have dividends. They're paying you because they are appreciative that you are a stock owner. There's so many stocks, you don't have to own theirs. So they are appreciative that you are, buying their stock, buying into their company, showing that support. So isn't that cool? So, like I say, who's going to give you, my other Fidelity account, I put, let's say if I put $2,000 in there, I have made like 7 or 8,000 just, and I have not put any, that was the amount I gave, except 2,000. Over time, it has grown, and now it's like $9,000. I only put in two. So where does that happen at? Where? Tell me where. And it's over time. It's over time, and it's the good companies too, right? So that's why you have to do some research and invest. So I'm not going to keep going on and on about that. It's just tried and true. I mean, you can't go wrong. The problem is people aren't doing it, because you might be thinking, if it was this easy, why isn't everybody doing it? Because everybody doesn't want to take turn to learn it, right? Everybody doesn't want to take time to learn it. And that's what they bank on. They bank on all this information being out here, but nobody taking advantage of it. So the rich just get richer, and the middle class stay in the middle, and the poor stay poor. And it's just the cycle. And we have to be those ones that break the cycle, right? We have to, break that financial cycle. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all, but we can do it. We can do it. Kelly says, I'm grateful to have learned about drip accounts. I bought stock in the bank that held my mortgage. I figured I was given money. I'd invest in them and earn via stock. Yes. And you can start at your companies. A lot of these businesses have programs and things like that. But you just have to, they may tell you about it or put out a flyer, and you know how many people look at that and flip it off. Look at that. I can't afford this. Flip it off. But meanwhile, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with entertainment, because I do it, but like I take my daughter to see the Nutcracker. I take my daughter, to, I'm really big into the arts for her, and taking her to see, different plays and things like that, and taking her to see Broadway and all that kind of stuff. I don't have to do that though. That's money where I don't have to do that. We went to Disney. That was a fortune to go to Disney for a week when she was 5. And I told her, maybe at 10 we would go back, but I'm not going to Disney every year. It's nothing changed but your age. So, that's just something I'm not going to do and spend money on that. I'm going to save that money and use it towards something else. So I'm just saying, it's things that we're doing that we don't need to do, we just want to do, and we could take that money and put it elsewhere, is what I'm saying. And don't take all of it, just a little bit of it, $5 or $10, but you got to be willing to try it. When you start off with $5 or $10, and you'll say, oh, this is cool. I started off with $5, now I have $7. Then you're going to add more. Okay, I had $7, now I have $10. Okay, now it might go down in between that time too, but if you're investing in a company that's tried and true, that is not like just like it reminds me of these pop-up shops where they have these hot little, penny stocks that, come up, and people make a ton of money and then they dump them, which means sell them right away. Not that. I'm talking about tried and true companies that are going to be here no matter what, for the most part. And so those are the companies that we should be investing in. So yeah. So do you guys want to play the game? Or yes, Debbie says that sounds awesome. Do you guys want to play the game or no? I'm gonna put that in the chat. Are you guys still listening? Are we still listening? Do you want to play the game? What do you guys say? I'm gonna put that in the chat because I don't know if you guys hear me. Do you want to play the game? Bye, Turtle Diaries. Okay, Debbie says yes. Okay, we'll play the game. We have to have more than Debbie, so we'll see if people want to play. And then we could, after we play the game, we could go roll out. This is about kind of getting yourself out of debt. A little bit about some. I don't know if I added money questions or not to this, but we shall see. Okay, let me make sure it's ready to go. I'm gonna be the hostess with the mostest. Let's see, let's see. It's so funny. I call this group the GLP-1 group. Um, okay, we're gonna start. This is called creating a budget. So you go to Kahoot.it. I'm gonna put that in the chat and then let me share my screen. Hopefully we don't get kicked out. Let me remove this from the stage. With that. All right, here we go. So it's Kahoot.it. If you have the Kahoot app, just click the app. And then put your name in there. You have to put the game pin 119605. All right, can you guys see? Oh, I'm sorry. Can you see? I can't play. I type. That's okay. I'm trying to wait till folks get in. Oh dang, I was not ready. Oh no. Can you still see it, Debbie? You got to go to Kahoot.it and put that in there. I'm looking on my phone. I'm like, should I play it? I can't play it because I'm going to be reading the questions. You guys hear that little music? Are you guys coming in? It's so fun. Oh, we got Kelly. Yay, Kelly. And that little thing is so cute. All right, Kelly, we got to get you some competitors. Come on. What are you guys doing? I think Mel and Debbie are playing. Oh, Sandra. Yeah, she's in there. I love it. This will be fun. Mel B. Mel to the B. All right, I think Debbie's trying to get on. I know for sure she is. All right. Come on, Debbie. Is Debbie saying she's still trying to get in? Let me see. Sandra's in. We got Sandra, we got Mel, and we got Kelly. What about Debbie? I can't figure out what I'm doing. Okay, Debbie, you gotta go to Kahoot.it. Are you in Kahoot.it? www, go to that, and then go to Kahoot.it. And then right away on the screen, it should pop up. Let me go in here. It should pop up. Kahoot.it. It should pop up. Join. Like this is how it looks. Z is in. Hey Z. You have to go to Kahoot.it and like in the internet part, like where you're going on the internet. Let me show you, Debbie. I don't want to take this down just in case somebody's trying to get on, but that's how it looks. Kahoot.it. And it's right away. It says put your picture. Now, if you're on a computer, I don't know if it looks different. All right, any more takers? We'll wait for a couple more seconds. Debbie, are you still trying? I'm going to put that in the chat. All right, we have 4 players. We need one more person. You don't need one more person, but it'd be nice to have one more person. Okay, so we can have a top 5. Going once, going twice, going once, going twice. Debbie, is she still trying? I don't know. Okay, I don't know if she's still trying, so we're gonna get started. I'm sorry, Debbie. Taisha, okay, Taisha, you can root these ladies on. Okay. I don't know. I don't think Debbie's in there. Okay, I'm going to start. Did she write anything? Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Okay, Delilah's going to try. Okay, come on in. That's so funny. You're at work. You're so cool. La. Okay, La. Let's get started. Love it. All right, here we go. Oh, wait. What is going on? Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's start. Creating a budget. Do you have a budget that you track regularly? Yes or no? That's just a poll question. Well, we have 2 more people. You got to answer. 4 seconds. All right. Okay, 2 and 2. Okay, very good, very good. That was just a poll question. Are you in debt? Question number 2. No, not at all. Yes, I have a little debt. Yes, I have a lot of debt. Help, I need a financial advisor. This is just another poll question. Oh, look at that, Piggy. All right. Oh, we have a little bit of each, except for the nobody needs a financial advisor. Okay, very good. All right, here we go. These are the questions that count. Why is creating a budget important? To keep track of your spending, to reveal bad spending habits. It allows you to create a plan for your money, or all of the above. Which one is it? Everybody got that one. Jeez Louise, who got it first? Mel B. Oh my goodness. Oh, my daughter's sleeping. I gotta calm down. I'm so excited. Okay. Followed by La, Sandra, Z, and Kelly. All right, next question. When creating a budget, I should first consider my wants and needs, my clothes and shoes, my fast food and snacks, my extra credit activities. Ooh, look at their budget rule. 50, 30, 20. Everybody got that correct. You guys are smart. Oh my goodness. All right. Hey, we stayed the same. Everybody stayed the same. All right, let's keep it moving. What are miscellaneous costs? Ooh, this is tricky. My car payment, video games, 2K and Madden, groceries, or rent? Miscellaneous. What do you think that means? Come on, number 5. What are you doing? Number 5. Where are you? It was the video games, right? The other ones are things that you probably have to have, right? Like a car payment, your groceries, your rent, staples. We don't really need video games, but they are fun. Mel B is still in the lead. We have Sandra. Kelly that moved up to the top 3. Okay, we have La and Z. 5 players has breached an answer streak of 3. They are on fire. All right. How do you begin to create a budget? Gather all your income and expenses. Calculate projected spending for the next couple of months. Just spend and hope for the best. Yes, you guys are so smart. Oh my gosh, look at that. Mel B is still in the lead. We have Sandra, La, Kelly, Z. 5 players just hit an answer streak of 4. You guys are on fire. I love it. What is an emergency fund used for? When I need an extra pair of shoes, when I'm having financial trouble, when I need a new game, when I want some. Oh, you guys are so fast. I couldn't even read it. You guys are smart. Kelly is on fire. Kelly has an answer streak with 5 correct answers in a row. Oh my gosh. All right, we have Z, we have Kelly, we have La, we have Sandra, and topping off that 5 is Mel B. All right, Mel and Sandra are so close. They're neck and neck. Kelly's on fire. Z, you can still win it all. Everybody is in this. Let's go. True or false? Your expenses should be more than your income. Your expenses should be, yes, you guys are on it. Jeez Louise. Oh, we still stayed the same pretty much. Okay, 5 players just hit an answer streak of 6. Let's keep it moving. How much of your income should you put in savings? Ooh, 10%, 12%, 5%, 20%. Good question. 10%. Yes. 10%. Now I see why people put 20%, but remember 10%. 10 of it is 10% savings, 10% investment. Remember that. 20% savings, but they split it up with the investment. That was to trick you, and it worked. Sandra, Kelly, Z, Mel B, and La. Oh my God, that last question was a trick question. I'm so sorry. True or false? Your budget is essential for short-term and not long-term goals. True or false? We need a 5th person. Where are you, number 5? Yes. Okay. Very good. False was it. Let's see. We have Sandra, Z, Mel B, Kelly, and La. We all stayed the same. Okay. Very good. Food is an example of a fixed expense. True or false? Ooh, good question. False. Yes, that is true. Food is an example of a fixed. Now, remember, this is tricky because before I had it under fixed. Remember, it was under fixed, but I also said it could be variable because sometimes your food changes. You know, the prices change. Everything changes. That's another trick question. All right, Sandra, Kelly, Z, Mel, La. Yes. Sandra Green has the highest answer streak of 9. If I were you guys, I would be so annoyed with those 2 trick questions. But I'm sorry. It could go either way, but really food can be variable because every month, are you really spending $250 exactly every month? Probably not. Maybe you are. You're buying the same thing. I don't know. All right. What is a fixed expense? What does that mean? An expense that will change every month, an expense that will change every year or so, an expense that will stay the same no matter what, and all of the above. I think La is out right now. All right. What was it? Yes, an expense that will stay the same. Fixed means it's going to stay the same no matter what. So some of those they had in the category I know of fixed that really aren't fixed because even I think too, like some of your bills, like I know my heating bill is not the same. It's not fixed. So yeah, we talked about that, especially last week. All right, everybody pretty much stayed the same. Okay, let's go. A mortgage payment would be considered as, or would be considered as a fixed expense, unfixed, discretionary expense. Ooh. Yes, 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 yes. A fixed expense. Now, your mortgage should not be one of those ones from month to month that inflation kicks in and now it's a different price. And that usually it doesn't happen. Kelly is on fire. Kelly. So we have La, we have Z, we have Mel B, we have Kelly in second place, and Sandra is in the lead. Anybody can win this. We have 3 more questions. All right, let's go. How often should I update my budget? Select 2 answers. Every week, every few months, when your financial situation changes dramatically, or every paycheck. Ooh, this is tricky. 2 correct answers. Yes, every few months, and when your financial remember it was 2 correct answers. And when your financial situation changes drastically. Very good. Oh my God, those are the 2. Are they giving you credit for the 2? Did you pick the 2 right? And how does that work? I don't know. Okay, let's see what happens here. So we have Sandra, we have Kelly, we have Melby, we have Z, we have Lala. Yes, 3 in a row. Z is back in the game. Okay, okay. Lala, I think, is answering those calls. All right, next question. You earn $1,000 a month. Your rent is $600. Your food bill is $150, and utilities are $60. What is left out of that $1,000? I hear this thing. Nothing is going. Gave you a longer time to figure this one out. I don't think Delilah's answering. Okay. You guys say one night. You so quick. You know that sound it made was so funny. All right. Come on. Come on. Yes, everybody got it. $190. Sandra still in the lead. We have Kelly, Mel BZ, and La. All right, very good. Sandra is on fire. All right, so we have the top 3 that are so close, plus Z, and I know La has had to be in and out of the game. You guys are so close. This is the last question. Any of you could honestly win this. There were a couple tricks in there. I know, but that's okay. We got this. All right, let's go. You guys are super close. I mean, super. What is the best way to save money? Shop at a discount, shop when businesses are running, if business is running low, don't spend at all of the above. What is the best way to save money? This is kind of a trick question, but don't let it trick you. I think we're waiting for Lala. Ooh, we had a bunch of people. Don't spend at all. But you know what? That's kind of impossible, right? It's almost like a trick question. I told you, a trick question. All right. I wonder why it does this every time. So we have Sandra ended up in our top spot. Number 2 was Kelly, and number 3 was Mel B. Mel to B. I wonder why they're not letting us show the podium. Let me go to the podium. Okay, I'm gonna try to go to the podium. Dang, congratulations. Let me try to find this podium. Jeez Louise. I don't know why they do this all the time. We don't want a reward. We want the podium. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's see. All right, so that was it. I was trying to get to the podium, but it won't let me. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So you guys can see your name. Looking fabulous. Okay, wait a second. I think this is so funny. Let's see. She said that was fun to watch. Okay, here are the results. Here we go. Bam, bam, bam. We got Sandra. She ended up with 10,767, followed by Kelly and Mel B. I love it. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. And then it says view summary. I'm not sure what it's saying. Oh, it says you guys are extraordinary. The difficult questions, what is the best way to save money? Okay. Yeah, I thought that was that was the hardest question. I didn't think so. All right, very good. There we go. All right, that is all things finances and budget. I'm so sorry about the trick questions, Mel. Next time we play, it won't be trick questions. In there, oh my goodness, I thought that savings one was pretty tricky because we've been seeing 10%, but I mean 20, but really the 20% should be, part of it should be investing or and saving. So that's probably why they have the 10% there. But oh well, it is what it is. Sandra, go Sandra, go Sandra. It's the champ. It's the champ. Creating that budget. Okay. All right. Well, you guys have a great night. This is what, Wednesday night? On Friday, I'm gonna have a video, one of our videos about dating out. We won't be here this Friday. We'll be back the following Friday. So all my single ladies, I may have to call it that too, Mel. All my single ladies. Mel, are you technically single? I don't know. I think you got a boo. But a lot of us are single. But I guess if you're not married, you're still considered single, I think, right? So I will see you guys on Sunday. On Sunday, the doctor is supposed to be coming now. So I'm going to put that out on Friday. I'll put the information out. Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday. I asked him, is he still coming, even though it's Super Bowl Sunday? And he said, yes, we'll be done before the Super Bowl. So I will see. Oh, she says, yes, she has that boo. Okay. All right. But so you're still technically single, or you still technically have the boo? Are you single? I don't know. But I'll see you guys for the doctor. So bring your questions, all things about GLP-1s, all things about being overweight, all things like that. And I'll put out information on Friday about him. And so you can, kind of gear your questions. He's going to be live. So that's a good thing. We can ask questions live. Then in the next week, we'll have that plastic surgeon here. So I am looking forward to all things learning from doctors, right? So I will see you guys on Sunday. Have a great weekend. Thank you for stopping in. I had a good time with you guys. Have a safe rest of your week. Good night.